Hello, YouTube. This is Brother Gerald, YouTube philosopher. And today's episode is Black women have the biggest butts. And they do. They have some big butts. And I'm not talking about the anatomical, the rumpus maximus or the butticus bigus. I'm not talking about that thing that they happen to sit on and the thing that makes us go crazy when we see a really nice round full profiled rump. I'm talking about when they use that conjunction term in their speech. And they use it quite often. You guys are going to be surprised when you start paying attention to all of the discussions where women will start saying one thing and then boom, here comes that term. But, and I, for one, as a man, I have used it, but I don't think I use it as often as I notice women doing in our discussions. And the reason why women use the word more is because they are trying to oppose that which reality has established as being the case. It's like, this is the way it is. And the sooner you accept things the way they are, the less likely you're going to have to say but. It's like appreciating something and then in the twinkling of an eye, turning around and actually choosing to ignore it. This is what you guys are doing when you say but in terms of arguing issues of relationship and things of that matter. So I'm going to prove this case by giving you an example. And the example I'm going to give you is real simple. It's one you've heard all the time. I don't see why a man can go around and have sex with all of these different women. But when a woman does it, she's a whore. It's not fair. Okay, well, being the case that this is what it is, you're objecting and you're crying about the unfairness of this thing that you're witnessing as being the case is not going to change the case. And you may set out on a mission to change that which is from being that which is not, but it doesn't do anything but make you look stupid. And a lot of women in this country have proven to be some of the stupidest people on earth. The West in general started out on a foundation that was very, very solid. But now we're trying to redefine and reclassify and just revamp society. And in our efforts, we've done nothing but create confusion and destruction. So that was just one particular case. And then I'll give you another case. Where a woman will say, I want a career, but I also want to have children. So I'm going to forego the years where having children is most optimum to get into this career. And now when I'm ready as a woman to have children and settle down, I hope that a man will be willing to take me on as a partner and give me the children that I desire. But what you didn't take into account, and there I go using that term, but, and the thing is, I have to use it because now I'm negating everything that you presented in contrast to the reality that all of us are confronted with. You want to do all of these things, but the thing that you didn't take into account is that men are driven by the physical appearance of a woman. So you might have a man that kind of rolled with you all through college, and y'all graduated and y'all got careers, and all of a sudden he decides he's getting married, but he's not going to marry you. He's going to marry that 21-year-old woman. In contrast to you being 28 years old, he's 28 years old too. He's going to marry that 21-year-old woman, and he's going to probably knock her up, might give her 3 or 4 kids, and she may raise those children. If she's wise, she'll raise those children and get them to a point of independence, maybe not total independence. She might get them to a point of 13, maybe even 16 years old, where they have a certain sense of their own identity and they have their own personality and maybe even a small degree of self-sufficiency. Whereupon which now she can choose to go back to school and get into that career that is supposed to be such a fulfilling thing to do. And I'm going to say, if it was so fulfilling for you to do at an age, say, in the prime years of your being able to make children, it'll be just as fulfilling after your children are grown and gone and you're still in this relationship with your husband. So these are the things that, you women are really not appreciating. And the reason why is because the whole purpose of this feminist idea of being a career oriented thing and having this reviling of being a mother and being at home to raise children is to steal and rob you of that which is most precious to you. You guys don't even know how precious what you guys are sacrificing is, because you run around here trying to be men. You're trying to have the career. You're trying to have these multiple encounters with different men. And you think that by the time you get your fill, that the men are supposed to just, well, I'm ready to settle down and have children and do these things, that they're going to be just so overjoyed to do so. Just not going to happen like that. And the reason why is because men, we are driven not by career. We're not attracted to a woman by virtue of her accomplishments in education or by the amount of money she makes in a profession. The men that are not really men worth even dealing with. But the long and the short of it is, you women are so dumb and so stupid. You're not willing to hear and pay attention to what I'm trying to tell you. Trying to peep you guys out on game, but you're going to be more offended by me calling you stupid than the overall message that I'm presenting. Because I will tell you, as a particular example, that I was very stupid in some of the choices that I made and dealing with certain people that I dealt with. Stupid, stupid, stupid. And so if I can tell you and acknowledge periods of poor judgment and stupidity, you shouldn't be upset when I point out the same error in judgment and I give you a clear example of how you are stupid. So I just pray that in me presenting these two big butts, and there's more. I mean, I could probably maybe rattle off maybe 20 of them before this thing is over, but I just figure I'm not going to make this video longer than it is. It's already almost 10 minutes long, and I think my point is well taken. And I'm really hoping that in just having this cursory discussion about the big butts of black women, that you guys will be able to think more clearly about these things and be sensitive to when you spit that word out in a conversation, especially in a conversation where you're talking to a man, a black man or another man, about relationship issues, that you become more sensitive to hearing you catch yourself when you say it. And when you do, don't say what follows. Take a pause and think about what you said before you presented that conjunction in the sentence. Because when you do, you'll be able to think clearly and avoid the pitfalls and the traps that everybody else falls into by following through with the swing and completing the sentence and not really acknowledging the truthfulness of the whole situation. Because Like I said, God didn't put us on this earth to be tricked. He didn't put us on this earth to be miserable. He put us on this earth to reflect his character, which is good, and to receive a blessing from him as a result of reflecting such a good and honest character. So with that, I depart. Peace to you all.